Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Steve Moon, your Silicon Valley realtor. Thinking about selling your home? You're probably wondering what to fix and how to get the best price for your home. But today, we're going to flip the script a little bit and we're going to talk about what not to fix before you sell. Some upgrades just don't give you the return that you expect, and I'm here to break it all down for you. Plus, I'm going to go over some key repairs that you should focus on to attract buyers and to avoid last-minute surprises. So let's jump right in. Let's start off with some common upgrades that seem like a great idea at the time, but won't necessarily pay off when it's time for you to sell. Chief among these is a swimming pool. Adding a pool sounds fantastic, but it's very expensive and most likely you won't get what you put into it. And there's also the maintenance and upkeep costs that you have to consider. But more importantly, when it's time to sell, although you may think it was a great idea and you put into it, some of the buyers will not think along the same lines. And let me give you a perfect example. The past summer, I helped buy one of my clients a fantastically beautiful home, and it had a wonderful swimming pool. So the whole look of and the design of the home was fantastic. One issue, these buyers have a young grandchild, and for them, the swimming pool wasn't necessarily a plus. What they wanted to do was buy it, and the whole look of the structure and the pool fit. But what they didn't want was the pool itself. So what they ended up having to do was to pay somebody to take out the pool. So it ended up costing them, quite a significant amount of money. So yes, the pool, the sellers thought it was a fantastic idea, but for the new buyers, it just didn't fit for them. It's not to say that, all buyers are going to be that way, but some buyers just aren't going to be in tune with that. So you have to consider that. Another idea may be adding a master suite or an additional bedroom. Adding more space sounds wonderful, but again, you may not get the return on investment, especially given the amount of time it's going to take, especially here in the Bay Area with the permitting process. You could be waiting months just waiting for people to come to you before the project is completed. What people sometimes don't consider before taking on these projects is when you're adding square footage, it's not as simple as just knocking down walls and just changing things or moving things around. When you're adding square footage, you may have to expand your foundation. So there's a lot more involved here, labor involved. And again, along each phase of the way, you're going to have permits and inspectors coming out. And you may have a situation where the job is done and you're just waiting weeks and if not months just for inspectors to come out to check off that portion of the work to get to the next phase. So all of that waiting equates into money, wasted money. And another one of these major projects that some people consider is major kitchen remodels. I've seen people move sections of cabinets around, move stoves and microwaves around to the other end of the room, move islands around. All of this stuff again takes a lot of work and time. So if you're going to do this for the benefit of your own use, go for it. But if it's only for the purpose of selling it to make it more presentable to a buyer, that's a lot of work, and you're most likely not going to get all of that money back. So a smarter move may be just smaller types of improvements to improve things. So maybe painting cabinets, or maybe changing out countertops. Something smaller in scale but still giving it a refresh. That may be a better approach. A full bathroom remodel, same principle. Some people think it's a great idea to fully modernize their bathroom by changing out all of the lights, adding much nicer vanities, repainting everything, maybe adding glass enclosures to showers. Most likely, a buyer may not see the full value of this tremendous scope of work that you may be considering. So a simple refresh may be much better of an approach and save you a lot more money rather than going in for a full-blown bathroom remodel. Replacing a roof. Unless you know that your roof has to be replaced, if it's in decent enough shape, you may just need to do a refresh and just make repairs rather than trying to do a full replacement. If you call a roof inspector, they'll come out and inspect your roof and they will give you a report. And within that report, they'll identify things that are wrong with the roof. If you have loose shingles or maybe some of the flashings, they need to be tightened up. These may be things that will need to be done, and they will give you a warranty for that work. So you can present that to the buyer to let them know that your roof has a leak-free warranty for X number of years, and that may be a better approach than replacing the whole thing. Certainly save you a lot of money. Okay, now let's talk about the things that have to be done, and these are the things that will make a huge difference in the sale of your home, and it will certainly make the buyers feel better about your home as a result. Doors and windows. Make sure that doors and windows open and close smoothly. If there's any squeaking, make sure you grease it to avoid the noise. If there's any broken seals or discolored ones, replace them. And if you see any tears in screen windows, make sure you replace those as well. Visually, you don't want those to be distracting items. Plumbing leaks. Make sure all toilets flush properly, nothing is loose. Check under, make sure there's no leaks anywhere. Check under vanities to make sure there's no water dripping or any stains. These are the kind of things that need to be immediately resolved before they progressively get worse. Electrical issues. If you see any burnt out light bulbs, replace them. Make sure all of the light bulbs have the same color. What's nothing worse than having mismatched color temperatures of light bulbs. It's warm here. What's even worse is within the same row, if they don't all match colors, it just looks very distracting and looks like you just don't care about the property. So these are kind of minor things that can be addressed to give it a more cohesive look and to make it seem like you as a seller care more. Kitchen functionality. Families spend a lot of time in the kitchen, so make sure that everything in the kitchen works. Check the stoves to make sure that all of the burners operate properly. Nothing worse than seeing one burner that doesn't distribute BTU like the rest of them. It just looks like it's not been taken care of very well. Make sure all of the knobs are tightened up. Same thing with cabinets. Make sure you're not missing any knobs or handles. Make sure nothing is broken, or it may be just easier just to replace all of them so that they look fresh and new and has a cohesive look. HVACs. It's one of these things when you're living in the home you really don't bother taking care of. So what you want to do is bring in a technician to have them inspect your HVACs. What we see all the time is that people simply do not replace their filters. Easy job, but just for some reason people just don't seem to think about it. So replace filters. AC units have to be serviced. So make sure it gets serviced so that when you're ready to sell and doing open houses, the AC doesn't fail, right? These are kind of common sense things that people don't really think about until something happens and they wish they would have thought about it. So make sure it doesn't happen to you. Drywalls. So most of the homes in California have drywalls for walls. So after years you may have scuff marks or holes or some corner that it's been damaged that you never took care of. You want to address this now and make sure that visually they don't attract negative attention. You don't want buyers to see blistering effects or things like that. So try to take care of it. A little bit of paint. If that's too much work for you, then bring in a handyman that can do that for you. They should be pretty good at texturing things and doing some sort of spot painting. Again, a good handyman can add tremendous value. So you may want to do a lot of this type of work so that if an inspector is called in, they may not call these out as issues that need to be addressed, and that may end up saving you a lot more money in the long run. Buyers today want a home that feels move-in ready. If they see a list of repairs from an inspection, it's going to scare them off, or maybe lead them to deeper price negotiations and delays. Selling as is an option, but if that's the case, be prepared for lowball offers. Before jumping into the renovations, think about your selling timeline and what may truly add value. Small cosmetic fixes that we talked about may necessarily add more value and have bigger impact. So if you're not really sure where to focus your effort, talk to a local realtor. They'll help you walk through it and tell you what's worth fixing and what's not. If you found this video to be helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more Silicon Valley real estate tips. So drop me a comment below to let me know what you're tackling before you want to list your home. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.